Hey, what's up, guys? It's Trevor, and today we're going to be talking about a few different microcap projects that are newer and also, I believe, have the potential to be very big in the future. So, without wasting your time, let's just dive right into it. So first things first, we have Case Dynamics. Now, Case Dynamics was, a part of the robotics TGE era, okay, that we've recently had here since, August, September, right? Robotics have been quite hot, and I believe robotics are going to stay very hot in the future as well, right? They're in the mix of AI, DeepIn, right? And so this is a project that kind of came about recently, and it maintained this market cap zone of around $20 million to $30 million. And actually during this period, there was a microcap slaughter period, actually, where microcaps were just getting destroyed. And Case Dynamics has held up. You might ask yourself why. Well, if you look at some of the top wallets, you'll see that a lot of them were either, sniped, potentially, the supply being bundled. And this actually, as funny as this sounds, it immediately kind of gave me a red flag when the project first came about. But actually, I think that's what has held the project up, and it's done so well since then. So right now, the project is sitting at $46 million. And to be honest, I was surprised to see it keep moving forward. And I also called this project when it was at $29 million for a market cap in my group. And currently it's at $46 million of a market cap. Now, another microcap project that I talked about in my base video that I made actually a few days ago was Hydrax. Now, Hydrax is basically a competitor to Aerodrome Finance, which is basically like the top DEX on base. So Hydrax is a base project. It's the only base project that I'm talking about today, but currently it's at $15 million for a market cap, and it's up 111% on the day. So it's doing very well. And I also talked about this project 10 days ago in my group. So I said it felt like an easy risk to reward. And yeah, back then that was also close to TGE. And overall, this project has been looking very good. And right now I'm quite excited about it. Now, CoinGecko has the accurate stats right now. So it's sitting only at $8 million, but it has an FDV at $15 million with 24-hour trading volume actually at $4 million, which is very good for that ratio. $4 million for 24-hour trading volume to a market cap of only $8 million. Absolutely amazing, honestly. So overall, there's been just whales buying up the project, and I think this project could move even further. I mean, to me, this one feels like a $100 million market cap project. It felt very good. I mean, if you actually just use the DEX itself, it's very good. I mean, and Aerodrome Finance as well has a market cap above $1 billion. So the idea for Hydrax to at least hit 100 million, I think for me, just it seems like it's plausible. Now, is that to say it's going to go to 100 million in a straight line? No, I would imagine that it may correct, considering it is up 111%. I would imagine that there is some zone of correction here. And this is also a similar thought to Case Dynamics. I would imagine unless we get some major KOL cabal boost, that the project could also consolidate potentially in, the $30 million zone, right? $30 to $40 million zone. Right now it's at $45 million. And with Hydrax, I would expect that the project would potentially come down to, $12 million to $10 million for a market cap before potentially, consolidating, going sideways, and then going to the next leg further. Now, another project that has recovered very well is Gradient, and I've talked about this one before, but it is a newer, lower cap project, only at $10 million. And right now on the day, it's up 50%. And it has recovered back to some of the previous support lines that we were at before. And Gradient is about creating price impact free trades, and also about having zero slippage with trades, especially with lower cap projects. That's kind of their main mission. And overall, I think this project could do well in the future, at least like a 5x from this zone. Now, another project that we have to talk about is AVM, or Agents Virtual Machine. So this is a project that had its TGE back in June, and it was kind of bouncing around $8 million up to, around $12 million. It peaked at around $14 million for a market cap. And currently it is actually consolidated and kind of found this support. Price got beat up, honestly. And, right now it's only trading at $2.8 million for a market cap right now. So it's in absolute micro cap territory. And there's nothing wrong with this project either. There's no FUD. There's nothing wrong with it. The only reason why I would say the price has come down this far is because it was similar to Gray in that, they kind of came about, had this TG, and then all of a sudden there was just this microcap slaughter period here where, for example, Gray came from all the way over at 20 million all the way down to $4.1 million for a market cap. So it really just got beat up during this microcap slaughter that I talked about. And AVM, it was the same thing. There's nothing wrong with it. The project wasn't flooded or anything like that. And in fact, the tech of this project seems to be very good, with the founders just continuously building. It is a docs team as well. It seems like the team is very capable of building really good things. They're also a token 2049. I think the only thing this project really hasn't capitalized on is marketing. So I would imagine that they would hopefully potentially expand that in the future as well. But from here to here, it's like basically just an easy, 3 to 6x gain. So I really think that this project has potential to do well in the future. I just think right now, there hasn't been much marketing, but it seems like the product, the tech is good. There's no FUD. Overall, the project is really solid with what the team can actually build. Overall, I'm bullish on this project. I think it will recover, and I also think that it will exceed its previous all-time highs and put in new all-time highs in the future. Now, the next one is Robora, sitting at $5.3 million for a market cap. And I'm talking about this project because, it only recently had its TGE back in August. It's a robotics project. And right now it is basically just sitting kind of in this range at, around $3.7 million up to $5.3 million. So we're talking major microcap territory here, and it actually went up to $13 million. And just like the previous projects, there was kind of this microcap, destruction period where Ethereum tanked, Bitcoin tanked, S&P 500 tanked. And really that's the same thing that we had here, for example, with Robora. They got hit by this as well and went from $13 million all the way down to $2.97 million. So there's no other FUD besides that for these projects. So really it's just like the market kind of took a hit. So therefore the product, the tech all still stands. And that's why I really think that some of these projects, like the previous ones I mentioned, really have the potential to, easily do a 2x from this zone. Now, another project is Taobot, sitting at $24 million. It actually wicked all the way up to $54 million back in January, and I think it's going to put in new all-time highs in the future. It's basically about swapping in different subnets. It allows people to get into the Tau ecosystem very easily from ETH, and it's a very interesting project. And I think, again, I really think Tau is going to obviously lead the way with AI. And I think Taobot is this microcap project that is going to get big gains as well when Taobot explodes as well. And when Tau goes up, obviously Taobot is going to also go up as well, because I think people are going to really speculate that this microcap is going to explode in price in the future as well. So overall, this seems like a very good project, and it's really at a good zone, sitting at 24 million. Could potentially go up to 44 million, just where it was back in August. Overall, I'm very bullish on Taobot. I think it will do well in the future. Now, another one which I don't really talk about much is Edge. Now, Edge is a project that has been around for a while, and this wasn't a project that I ever got into, but overall, it actually went up to $59 million for a market cap, and currently it's down to just $14 million. Now, Edge is about the super cloud, and most recently, they're really focusing on robotics. So that's kind of the main point of Edge right now, is they're really kind of pivoting right now. I see them constantly changing, the graphics and just a bunch of stuff to robotics. And you can see here that they recently received this shipment of, looks like different, like for example, a robot. So they're actually really going into the robotics narrative. They're buying up different robots, and they're really trying to expand into this niche as well. So overall, it's a solid project, and it's just down from where it was before. And I think this project will recover and exceed its previous all-time highs in the future. All right, and the last thing that I just want to leave you guys with is someone just messaged me from the Crypto Gems group, which of course you can join via the top link in the description below. And there, when you join the school group, you get access to the Telegram group as well. There's a whole lot of features. And one member actually just messaged me today and thought this was cool. I thought I'd share this here. He said, exactly, I did well this year. Since I've joined your group, I've cashed probably $50,000 to $60,000. The Telegram leveled it up big time, and with only $5,000 invested too. So turning $5,000 into $60,000 in cash is just awesome to see. And that's from one of the members in the Crypto Gems group as well. And of course, in that group, I'm not just talking about projects after they already come about. Of course I am, but I'm also talking about projects that are also up and coming TGEs, projects that are currently building that are going to have their TGEs very soon. So I'm just giving updates on those projects. And that's ultimately so we can get in them early before they explode and before the major KOL cabals get into them in the future. So that's all I have for this one. I'll see you guys in the next one.